Hi guys, so today something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about modding my first ever Strat, my American Professional. It's a 2019 model. So I've had this guitar for about 6 years now. Since getting my new custom shop, which I did another video on, and some other Strats, I actually owned 5 Strats. I had 2 parts casters, a Shure Classic S, this, and my custom shop. Just in the last sort of 2 or 3 weeks, I've decided to sell some guitars and just consolidate my collection. I actually have this neck over here, which is a genuine Fender solid Rosewood neck. Yeah, the reason being that I just don't play it as much as I used to, so it's not really that it needs doing up or that needs anything done to it. You know, it's a good guitar. I've got Lollar Pickups in it. I'm pretty sure they're Lollar Blondes and a Special in the bridge. They're really good, but you know, just looking for something a little bit different and yeah, something to sort of spice it up a bit and hopefully make me play it a little bit more, because I just wasn't playing it as much and I don't really like to own guitars that I don't play. So hence the reason with getting rid of my other guitars. So yeah, in the last 2 weeks I've sold my 2 parts casters, my Shure Classic S, which again was an awesome guitar, but just not playing it over my custom shop Strat. And I had a Maton acoustic, which I also sold as well. So the plan with this is to change the neck and the tuners back to the full Rosewood neck. And then I've got some black Hipshot open gear tuners. My only real reason for those on the Rosewood neck is I just way prefer the look of black tuners on that neck with the Rosewood headstock, because I feel the chrome ones just stand out too much and I don't really like the look of it. I've got some Sliders 68 pickups. I think they are. I'm pretty sure they're 68s. Just got a set from him delivered today. Actually, I've been waiting for that to turn up. So they're my Sliders 68s. He usually dates them because they're like a Jimi Hendrix set of pickups. He usually dates them for Woodstock, but I got him to date them 31st of December 69 to coincide with the Band of Gypsies live at the Fillmore. Also got a tortoiseshell guard, so I thought I'd mix it up. See what the tortoiseshell looks like on here, and with the Rosewood neck. So yeah, I also got this, which is a Vega-Trem. Mainly just to try it out of interest. Look, they're not cheap, but this trem's actually pretty good because it's got the pop-in whammy bar. But like on my custom shop Strat and any of the other Strats I had with the screw-in bars, I just found there's a fair bit of play in them, and I know you can do things to mitigate that, but I wanted to try out a trem, number one, with something that really locks the arm in so it doesn't have play. And I think from the design of the Vega-Trem and what I've seen online, it looks like that should be pretty So yeah, sounds like a Strat. And as you can see, the reason I had this neck on there originally was so I had the set of the Strat and the Tele of the same color. So this is actually a limited edition Fender American Professional Telecaster. Yeah, actually came out with the full Rosewood neck, and these exact same tuners I'm going to put on that. So I actually changed the tuners on this. I've actually got this up for sale. So this is the last guitar I'm going to sell. That's a 5 in total. I don't really want to see it go. It is a great Tele. I love it. The color and the neck. But again, I'm not really playing it. So Yeah, I never started this to collect guitars. I don't want to collect guitars. I prefer to sell. I prefer to sell 4 or 5 what I've got and buy maybe one more that I really like. But in all honesty, I have a pretty decent collection of guitars now. It's not huge, but essentially I just want to get to know them better at this point. Now, don't get me wrong, this could change, especially when I've got some cash in my hands from selling all this stuff. So we'll see. But I'm going to try to not buy anything else and just get to know my guitars. But yeah, let's get into it. We'll go and get this thing pulled apart. Okay, so first things first was to take off the strings of the guitar and then undo all the screws for the pickguard. Give me access to the wiring so that I can firstly desolder the earth wires and then the active wire that comes from the input jack. So that I can pull the pickguard off. They're the Lollars I had in there. And there's also a treble bleed circuit in there that I've just taken out because I want to put that into the new pickguard that I bought. After that, just take the springs out of the back, pop the tremo off. Because it's just a 2.1, it just pops straight out. Those screw holes actually get sleeves in them to accommodate the Vega-Trem screws. So the screws are a bit small, the ones that were in there. So you firstly put in a sleeve and then screw on the front part of the Vega-Trem there. Once that was done, it was on to taking out the output jack. That's already desoldered, so I just pulled the wires straight out. There's the new pickguard with the sliders in it. Rod had kindly labelled all the wires, so that made it nice and easy. Just desoldering the earth wire that goes to the trem claw on the back, and then threading the new one through, and then threading the input jack. Wires through there, ready to solder on. So then simply pull those through and screw on the new pickguard. Once that's done, I decided to change the neck over. I thought I'd do this before I sort of finalised locking the pickguard in place. So I took the old neck off. I got the new neck. Once I'd pulled the new neck out, I realised I need to chuck the tuners on, so I whacked the new tuners on. The Hipshot tuners are pretty good because you don't need to put any screws into the headstock. So they've got these universal mounting plates that go on the back, and basically when you screw down the tuners, it sort of locks them in place so they can't spin. So neck's going back on here. Nothing too complicated. Just probably the big thing with these is just don't over tighten the screws. They don't need to be super tight. The last thing you want to do is thread your neck. So once that's done, I just loosened off the pickguard again. Gave it a little wiggle, made sure the it wasn't rubbing against the neck too much, and then it was on to soldering back on the input jack. So there I'm simply putting some heat shrink over those wires before I start. That way I can slide that over the solder joints once it's finished. Just make it a bit neater and make sure that there's no risk of it shorting out anywhere. So got that soldered together. Make sure if you are soldering around your guitar, you protect the protector body with a cloth or something you're not worried about getting burnt, because the last thing you want to do is burn the paint. Get that input jack screwed back in, and onto soldering that other earth wire onto the claw for the trem at the back. All done, as you can see. And I think it was about this point that I realized that I'd forgotten to solder in the treble bleed. And I just realized I have to take the pickguard off again. So here we go again. Pickguard off. Gets a little repetitive, but you got to do what you got to do. So got that out.
It's a pretty quick process to just whack that treble bleed in there. There's already solder there. You basically just melt it, pop the wires through, and you're done. So yep, pick guard back on. And yeah, at this point I'm thinking the tortoise looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. And yeah, it's looking pretty cool, especially with the rosewood neck. So once that's done, get the Vega-Trem in. Firstly with the springs. I was trying to figure out a decent way to get it through there. It's a little bit fidgety because it doesn't lock into anything on the top side. It's just got like a sort of blade setup that goes into that piece that I'd already screwed to the guitar. So it's actually, once the springs are in, it's the strings that actually hold it basically in place, like will hold the pressure in so it stays in place. So when all the strings are off, it's sort of just floating there. So now I'm just restringing the guitar, putting them back on. So once you've got sort of 2 strings in there, that holds the bridge in place, makes it a bit easier to work with. And yeah, after that, just set the string height with the saddles. That was a little bit fidgety, but got that to somewhere where I thought it was pretty good. But basically wanted to go and play it. I was pretty keen to go and play the guitar, and I thought I'll just play it for a while, let everything settle in a bit, and after a day or two I'll do a better job of intonating it and setting up the string heights a little bit better. Although I did spend, as you can see, a bit of time with those string heights. Got it tuned up, and stretched the strings a bit, and then it was back into the studio. So as you can see, I think I'm pretty much done here. It didn't take too long. Just got to pop in the trem arm, and look, overall, yeah, it's really not too hard of a job. If you're going to try and do it yourself, obviously you've got to know how to solder, which again isn't too hard after a bit of practice. Probably the biggest thing I can say is get a good quality soldering iron.
All right, guys, we're back. It's been about 4 or 5 days, and in that time, the Telecaster I had is now sold. So this is my only olive green guitar with a rosewood neck. As you can see, I've got the pickups in there, got the new trem, tortoiseshell pick guard, the necks on, tuners, and yeah, it came up pretty good. I got everything aged because I was going to get a different body and spray it nitro, same color, relic it. So yeah, it would have been a more relic guitar. And I think because I got this all aged and then the body's new, it sort of looks a little bit strange. But I think generally the color scheme looks pretty cool. I like it. The trem turned out pretty good. It's still sort of few things to set it up, a few things to do, like just get the intonation a bit better. But yeah, it's actually a really good trem. The arm has very, very little play, which is exactly what I wanted. So it's you can really get the light really light touch on it. I can go back or forward pretty much as much as I want. Haven't lubed the nut either, so every time I do a bit of a dive bomb on it, it does throw it out of tune. So if I want to do that, I'm going to have to assess the nut a bit, I think. But overall, it's awesome. The pickups sound great. I did get Rod sliders to make up the whole pick guard for me. The pickups sound awesome. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. Like I said, I wanted to, sell all my sell 5 guitars and potentially look at getting one good one. And yeah, I've got 1 or 2 on the radar. Whether I pull the trigger, I don't know. I still don't think I should. But yeah, let's hear some tones, eh? This is just through my Tone King Sky King. yeah, so the pickups, they've still got a bit of punch. They've got that stratty, you know, sort of sparkle, I guess. Yeah, so overall, I'm happy with it. Something different. The pickups are good. Exactly sort of the sound I was after. They're way better than my Lollars. Depends what you're after. I think I did enjoy the Lollars, but yeah, they were probably not as high output, or didn't have as much low end as these guys. Again, it's all subjective. You know, I'm going off memory. I don't have the Lollars here to compare to, but look, I like them in terms of the trem. I'm happy with it. The arm, it's not doing it now, but every time you pull it up, this bushing here comes undone a little bit, so you sort of get it to the right tightness in terms of how much you want it to move. It's not doing as much now, so it might just be, oh yeah, it is. So it just starts to come loose a bit. And when that happens, the looser it gets, it starts to get a tiny little bit of play, like not as bad as these screw-in ones, but I'm just gonna have to, I think maybe put some plumber's tape around that to try and just firm it up a bit so it doesn't move as much. But yeah, apart from that, it was a pretty easy install. There's heaps of videos on there online about installing the bridge, so I'm not gonna go into much detail of that. And yeah, look, something a bit different. And it's been good. As I said, I sold 5 guitars. I've got the original neck for this, and I had this neck on this guitar. I got both of those, the frets re-crowned on them. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I feel like I've got a new guitar at the moment, and I like it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think of the look of it. As I say, something different. I really do like the antique olive colour. I'd love to have one a little bit relic with a nitro finish. I just think that'll look really cool. But yeah, this looks pretty cool, and I kind of like it with the tortoise shell guard. I think it just adds something different. But still got my black one if I want to go back.